it was such a ritual every day. You know, you would get into it, you would go through the motions, and you would be your character. I mean, so I was doing this earlier, but I was smelling it, and it just literally took me back to like 6 a.m. I'm in the trailer, someone's helping me get my costume on, it's cold, I'm in Belfast, and it's like, they're really sort of key memories in my mind. And they were things that you grew to love. You're like, that felt like a bit of me.
Right.
And so seeing it here really kind of brings that all back. It's funny, it's that idea, isn't it? If, you know, one day you take something off or you stop doing something and you don't realise that it's the last time. Mm-hmm. I can remember the sort of last times I wore these costumes and being like, wow, that's the end of that. So it's...
The last time you took it off, was it a relief?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
But again, not to labour the point about this lacing, but it was... Because it was so hard to get it through the holes, and you had to...
Right, and then you're cinched in.
And you're cinched in.
It puts you in a different... You sit in a different position.
Totally. You can't really take it off.
It defines who you are, because it defines how you stand, and how you, in your case, how you sit.
Yeah, yeah. And we were talking earlier about the level of authenticity of it all. So, for example, this little undershirt could very easily have just been a ruff and could have been stitched into there, and it would save putting on another thing.
Right.
But there are, I think, 3 parts to the top of this. So there's the sort of skirt bit.
Right.
Maybe there are even 4. There are 4. So I think that used to go on first, which is like the big undershirt. Then you had the arms were a little top. Mm-hmm. Then you had the skirt, and then you had that over the top. Yeah, it was all coming back to me now. Remember.
So the first time you put it on, you went, as a 10-year-old, did you go, what the heck?
I got 10 years of this.
What a nightmare this is going to be. Were you... do you remember what it was like to be 10 putting it on for the first time? I mean, I know it's a weird thing to ask.
Yeah, it's hard to say in some ways, because it was just... It was all so new and novel to me. I didn't really have time to pause and think about how strange or unique or important it would be. It was just kind of like, oh, put this on now. And like, oh, that looks cool. Or like, get a picture of me, mum. I mean, for me in particular, it was funny because most people could come back year upon year and just put their old costume back on. But of course, I was going through puberty. So I think I dread to think how many of these they had to make of me just subtly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, what a trip down memory lane. Little Bran, teenage Bran.